Welcome to the 4th ASEAN-EU Cooperation and Scholarship Day. You are now in the reception area. Here is the list of events we have prepared for you. Click on the schedule button to get a reminder on your phone or devices. Just dropping in to see what's on? Find this little red button to see which event is currently live and just join the fun. Take the time to explore the expo area and see what have been prepared for you. Here on the booth panel, you can have a one-on-one Q&A session with our exhibitors. Download all the information that interests you, join workshops and sessions, or try out the games. Each session also has its own booth panel for you to interact with the speakers. To have a conversation with an expo representative, click Share Video and Audio. The booth moderator will allow you to have a conversation with them. Have something to say? Head on over to the Voice of Youth booth. Pick your virtual background and overlay and say it with a photo or video. Don't forget to follow and tag at EU in ASEAN when you post it on social media. You might be the lucky winner to get a special hamper from the EU. We're so excited to have you here, and we wish you a good time.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 4th ASEAN EU Cooperation and Scholarship Day 2021. Sit tight because this one is up. My name is Liguina Hananto. I'm back as your at the practice session. My connection is acting up. So hopefully right now it's better. You can see me and hear me clearly. Let's talk about youth. Youth makes up a third of the ASEAN collective population. It's significant and important part of ASEAN with huge potentials to be agents of change. In Indonesia, we have a saying, bersatu kita teguh, bercerai kita runtuh. We are stronger when we are together. In this session, we are joined by 3 of our speakers from Indonesia, Laos, and Cambodia to discuss more about connecting youth and creating impact. So join me in welcoming our 3 fabulous Youth of the Year. I'm just making that up. Here is Muhammad Saifuddin from Indonesia, Kal Kunila from Cambodia, and Aluni Sentuangat from Laos. Hi! So I'm gonna say this. I practiced this before the session. Kunila, suosde. Suosde. Aluni, sabaidi.
Sabaidi.
And Fudin, apa kabar?
Apa kabar?
Fudin is the one away. He's currently residing in Japan. So this is what connecting really means. We all live in different countries and we're connecting today. Let me introduce all of them one by one. Muhammad Saifuddin, or Fudin, is the founder of Indonesian Youth Opportunities in International Networking. Aluni Sentuangat is from the ASEAN Youth Organization in Laos, and Kal Kunila, she's the founder of wheninphnompenh.com, which puts together local writers who write about Phnom Penh. I've never been to Laos and Cambodia. It will be on my checklist. Once this pandemic is over, I'm gonna be able to visit all of you. But let's talk to you guys about connecting, because we're all from different backgrounds and not connecting today. So this is the first question, and I would like each of you to answer one by one. Let's start off with asking you about the word connecting. What does it mean to you, and why is it important to connect youth? Let's start with Fudin. Go ahead, Fudin. What is connecting means to you?
Any specific?
Okay, connecting. Yeah, I would say it's very important for the young generation. Actually, like when asked what it means, that I cannot explain it clearly, but I can tell you that from connecting, I have been able to meet all of you right now, and I want to go to China for master studies, and also right now I'm in Japan for my doctoral studies, and I get to meet many people from various backgrounds that I have built to education-based communities in Indonesia. We call it Ayoin, and also Tunas Bertumbuh. And from that, I have learned a lot and networking people. Uh, it's really important. Connecting is really important, but we have to make sure that we connect with the good people, and they have a positive vibes actually. Not just connecting, but we have to build good relationship with them also. Is it?
Thank you. That sounds fabulous. Because the youth is basically the ones who will determine the future. So connecting the youth becomes even more important. Let's go to Aluni. What does the word connecting means to you, and why is it important to connect youth, especially because you are with the AYO?
Yes, I am. So to me personally, I feel like connecting is just by talking. I mean, talking and communicating is just like different kinds of forms. It could be through face to face. We're doing online connecting, and to me, a relationship starts with talking. So you can walk past each other every day without even mentioning a word or looking at someone's face, and that's that's still connecting, but it's really poor connection. So connecting is just by starting with open mind, open heart to accepting how other people are reacting to you. So as connecting youth, I feel like we have something in common, and that's what we need. That's why we need to connect to do something, together. So in terms of development, because I am the development major, I feel like connecting is important because we can't do anything alone, and we need everyone to help each other.
I love that. So it's about starting conversation and then develop something together.
Yes.
Which goes to you, Kunila. Getting writers to write about Phnom Penh, that sounds like a big task. So what does the word connect means to you, and how is it important in your life?
Thank you so much for this good question, Livina. And I really agree with Fudin and Aloni. To me, connecting is putting human beings at the center of this, meaning putting youth at the center of communication. Be it face-to-face communications, digital communications, or other forms of communication. So bridging and understanding and finding common ground are important elements into connecting or being connected. So what does it mean when young people are connected? It means their understanding towards each other, despite our differences, is bridged, and that takes all forms of communications, like Aloni mentioned, digital or face-to-face, and all of that. And in my job as somebody who founded a digital platform to connect young people through writing, it is to share stories that we share, like common stories, and bringing to light issues, challenges, positivities, and all of that through storytelling form. So that's my understanding of connecting youth in each of the countries or in ASEAN.
Thank you, Kunila. I love how all three of you answer with so much positivity, because nowadays we are so connected through social media, and a lot of times the connection made through social media is quite negative, and actually when there's more banter, there is more engagement, which does not sound like the ones you guys are talking about. That's completely the opposite. You guys are talking about mind, making development together. So that goes to my next question. We'll start with Aluni this time. How do you make this youth connection through your work, and what magic have you seen?
So how the word? So I would start with the how. So before we go to the how, it comes from the inside of me. Is why? Why are we doing this? Why do you want to do it? And then it comes with the how that it has limitless boundaries. You can do any type of activities. But if we're talking about youth, I would say the best how would be to go on the media, to go online, or if that your certain place is connected with mouth to mouth, more kind of a connection, then you could do thousands of ways to connect, and you can actually choose how you want to connect them and why you want to connect them and what purposes are you guys connecting for. And the magic I've seen is that we talking about how you say the toxic connections you met online, the magic I see is more of those positive ones that are happening when we connect. So looking back 5 years ago, voluntary works weren't that popular. No one wanted to do it because I gained nothing. But now everyone's like focusing on, I'm going to be a volunteer. I'm going to be a volunteer. Where the
That's
more
magic.
voluntary I am,
That's your magic there.
yeah, that's the magic. So the more volunteering experience I have, I feel like I'm successful. I feel like I know everyone that passes my way. Even that guy at the market, I never talked to him for 2 years, but then we're suddenly in a volunteer group. Now I know that guy. That's the magic I see with connecting.
Thank you, Aluni. I love the story there. You meet people every day, but doesn't necessarily you make good connection. The magic is when you finally find a common ground.
We're the youth of the country, but why don't we talk or do something together instead of like, I don't know you and I'm not going to talk to you because I don't think we have anything in common. So start with connecting. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, let's go to Fudin. Fudin, what is it that you're doing in your organization? How do you connect youth together, and what magic do you see as the result?
Previously, this was also my question. Before creating a youth community or the organization, I have so many questions to me actually, like why this like this, why this like this, and I was confused at that time, but I was determined that and spread information, like just do action. Like I want to meet, I want to connect with the people same like me, with the careers, with the same careers with me, and then I just okay, let's do that. I just make an open recruitment, and then I post in my social media, and then I ask to my friends to help. Please share this information also to the social media. And yeah, the magical of the social media, it's really amazing. And finally, the miracle happened, and through the social media also, my two organization, I joined in Indonesian Youth Opportunities in International Networking, and also Tunas Bertumbuh were built, yeah, because of the social, because of the social media and the challenges, yeah, right, to build the communication. I think is how to say, the first challenge, I think, because like with the our members, with the our friends right now in this pandemic is really how to say, like everything is now put into Zoom meeting, and we have so many schedule. It's not just volunteer, I mean, like we have
That's
study
true.
also, and then maybe some people working also, and then that is really challenging for us. But we, how to say, like do become a volunteer is so make me happy. So because we will meet many people from various background, that is after that maybe in the future we will receive uh, the bonus. I think we will get the bonus in the future. It's not just we become a volunteer today and then we receive the gift today. It's not like that, but maybe in the future we will receive it. And I'm
Fabulous.
now current yeah now currently I receive the miracle and the gift and everything because of the connecting, because of my community, my organization. And I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of my NGO, my organization also, and so happy meet
All
you
right.
all here.
Thank you,
It's
Fudin.
really it's really good.
Thank you so much. So the magic with Foodin is how all this volunteer work and organizational skill that he's gaining will
Mm,
be useful in the future. And that if you're a youth watching this, you need to look out for this kind of activities for magic to happen for your future, not just for your present. All right, let's go to Kanila. Um, how do you make youth connection through your work? Because the way I look at it, your organization connect writers, and what kind of a magic do you see in your line of work? Go ahead, Kanila. What's your story?
Thank you so much for this good question. When I first look into this, I see that there is a story in everybody. Everybody comes to the world with stories, inspirations. We're all made up of dreams, aspirations. So this is how I connect with other young people, and how I connect them together. Of course, through the dreams and aspirations to do something, to change where they are, to do something to transform other people's lives. And so yes, it all starts with the aspirations. And like in Cambodia, where 60-70% of the total population are young people under 30 years old, everybody is so hungry to share and so hungry to learn something new. And we're all so I'm still in awe, especially with the stories that the young people discover and share on the platform when in Phnom Penh. We see, we definitely see.
Give us an example, Kanila. I'm really interested in this. Is it written in English?
Yeah, so currently the platform
Okay.
is in English, but when I started out, it was just a single blog, and later on, I started to train young people how to use this digital platform. It started with my classroom, and then when I was in university, my professors asked me to share and teach my classmates how to blog. And then because of that, I started to travel around the country and ASEAN to conduct digital workshops. So I see. So I'm not just speaking about Cambodian youth, but also youth in ASEAN who have stories, but they don't know where or how to share the stories. And I believe in the strength and beauty of youth. They have amazing stories to share because they have that burning desire to to connect with others through stories. That's why I keep mentioning aspirations and dreams and this desire to be heard and seen. And so writing is one of the most fabulous, wonderful platforms for them to share the story.
I do agree, and because I think writing is the one skill that everybody needs in whatever field you're in, because that's how you express yourself and that's how you sort of train your analytical skill. So it's not just about writing stories, but it will bring you somewhere else. Yeah, that's the magic of writing. Let me go on with Kanila. What are the challenges that you face when you are going through with your so to say blog, which now has been a different blog compared to when you start alone? What are the challenges?
So you touched upon a very good point. One of the outcomes of writing a lot, that is, it helps. It improves your critical thinking skills for sure. So some of the challenges that I faced when I started my blog and when I started connecting the writers or bloggers in Cambodia. So we actually came from a very um, like say, resilient community because of what we went through for 4 years, the civil war that rips through the country and that left so many people scared. And so we are less expressive, like let's say, because of the fear, the trauma, and all of that. And so when people communicate, it's not so open. But writing is like we talked about earlier, is one of the platforms to express our ideas, our thoughts, and that helps improve us. So when I started, it was quite challenging to connect with other people, because first of all, they are not used to sharing ideas on online platform. So that at the time, Facebook wasn't there yet. And but then when social media started to, appear in everyone's life, people were taken aback by the kind of freedom they could have, especially in expressing themselves. And so they started to adjust. So for myself, for my work, it was, challenging at the very beginning, especially to explain to young people, to people that they too can express themselves through writing, and it will eventually help their critical thinking skills and any other skills. And that's part of the journey. And I whenever I give talks and all of that to schools, to university students, high school students, I always encourage them to look to continue writing, be it a diary or a digital platform. Just write as much as you can. Carry a notebook with you, and when ideas come to you, just write them down. You would never regret this moment at all.
Thank you, Camilla. Inspiring stories there, which reminds me, I need to start writing more. Let's go to Aluni. I have a question for you. Do you think youth has what it takes to be part of the solution to our current regional and global challenges? That's a big question there. And how can youth be a part of that? I think because you're part of AYO, this will be a very interesting take to you. Hold on, you're still muted, Aluni. We need to unmute you before you can
speak. I was agreeing with you that it is such a big question, and AYO is, as you know, is a voluntary organization. So I think it's one of the points that makes that statement true, that youth has what it takes. They are so active, even if it's voluntary. I just don't know where they get the strength from. I mean, when I was at their younger age, I wasn't as active as they are now. So talking about having what it takes, I mean, how our ASEAN cultures, we don't go back home late. Okay, and now and now for voluntary work, we don't even earn money, and we actually lost our cause to participate, and we're like, it's 12, I'm going home unless this is done, because tomorrow we're doing something big. So that's how youth can be so powerful, to do something that they believe in. So I guess it's about making them believe in what they want to do is what makes them powerful. Yes.
Can you give me an example of one particular activity at AYO that you think is very strong, and you get that sense of how youth people and Lao are connecting and actually putting their hearts and soul into? What kind of activity would that be?
So I would refer to our first event, because we were just established and it was our first event about last month. Yeah, it ended in early July. So I think the action that shows that they have what it takes is how they are so excited when, oh my God, guys, it's on live. I mean, live right now, but it's their first time organizing an online event. And how they're scared to be the coordinator, because they think a coordinator is doing such a big job, because you're talking to two people, and those two people have different tongues. And it just inspires me to do more when they take the courage to say, oh, I can do this even though I don't have time, but I still want to do it, because what you're doing is what I believe that makes a good impact to our society.
Thank
So
you, Aloni. I love
other
the
stuff
story.
like staying
That
up
sounds.
late and all those things are just like additional ones. But I
So it's a
personally,
matter of giving opportunities
yeah,
for young people to rise.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fabulous thing you're doing with your organization. Putin, let's go to you. How do you think youth can take part as solution for the current regional and global challenges? It's a big question, but yeah, what you guys have done with the organization, the Indonesian Youth Opportunities in International Networking. Your answer, Fudin. Is Fudin breaking out?
Sorry. Unmute.
That's okay. I can hear you. I can hear you
Okay.
properly. Answer.
Okay. Okay. I will answer this question. That who else if not us? Because the young generation has the potential to change the world. Right? They can voice their ideas and even sometimes criticism. We are now at very act or if you want to do something like in volunteer and just do it done thinking like because maybe this movement is too small, don't thinking like that because we can do a little by a little and then maybe just small movement. But if we are together and uh, not just you, not just me, but we are going together in that volunteer, that will be a big movement. So our voice is really matters, and
Thank you.
I really like that if young generation is more active, not just not passive. I really like that.
Thank
And
you, Fudin.
in
I love the spirit how you believe in.
organization or in my community that we have we have the program like connecting youth from Indonesia, like maybe some bachelor students if they want to study abroad, then IOIN, Indonesian Youth Opportunities in International Networking, make a mentoring to connect Indonesian students in Indonesia to connect with the Indonesian students abroad. So that is we call it like mentoring scholarships, and we
All
have
right.
that program in IOIN and also in Tunas Pertumbuh.
Thank you, Saifuddin, who's live from Japan. He's Indonesian living overseas. I'm going to go back to Kunila. Kunila, can you share the power of stories in developing connection and bridging differences? That's a question from the audience, by the way.
Sure. Thank you for the question from the audience. So I can share as many examples of experience, but
I'm sure you have a lot.
yeah, I'll go with one. So there was one time when all of the Cambodians found it really difficult to travel, and so at the time I went to a passport office and I saw so many laborers because there are a lot of Cambodians who had to travel for work outside the country to neighboring countries like Thailand and all of that, and everybody was complaining about how difficult it was to like secure a passport, and there's so many travel regulations imposed upon Cambodians. So I took to blogging. I wrote a very long article, and later it was picked up by a couple of prominent media titles here, and it went viral, the story. And later I was told by my friends that one of the leaders, the prime minister talked about it, and later on and later on, yeah, and so it's just an example of simply sharing ideas. And I was a student, and I thought I was powerless. I thought I wouldn't be able to make any change, but just able to share stories at the time, especially stories faced by other people who probably don't even have access to the internet, right? So I did that, and then with support of my friends, the story went further than I thought, and yeah, situation's a lot better right now. So this is just an example I like to share in developing connections, like through pain, because we human beings,
Awesome.
and we share
You,
all of
you
this,
really
right?
can actually make changes, real changes, everyday changes that you didn't even discover you could do. Thank you, Camila. That's a powerful story. I have two more questions, and because we're running out of time, I need to go now to Aluni and ask you this question. How can we filter our digital connection and make sure we are not trapped in negativity? You know, Aluni, how the social media actually feeds on
Yeah.
negativity. You become more viral when people are bantering each other. How do you filter something like that in your experience?
From my personal experience, many people just advise you just block them. But what if that person is someone you know that, I mean, in front to front, face to face, they're good and something else, but they're talking about, the human rights, blah blah. That you personally think that. I don't think human rights is wrong, but just say they're talking about a specific subject that you think differently. What I do is just don't go on Facebook. That's it. That's what I do. But I probably would advise you to just have your stance. What you believe in cannot be taken away. So just shift yourself to what you think is true, and don't even bother to give a like or comment that what you're saying is wrong. I mean, just be with your own world, because if you stay here long enough to understand yourself, you'll be stronger than their world. And someday when you post something, that something might change their mind. So maybe focus more on how we can change other people to come to adapt to us more than let them drag you into their world.
Thank you, Aluni. That's so important. So even if you want to say something online, you also need to make sure your real life is strong. So your life
Exactly.
is not
So
determined
when
by
there's
what you are
backlash, you
bantering.
don't fall off.
That's true.
You
Thank you.
don't.
Final question is for Fudin. Fudin, I think this is a question that you will be able to answer. How do you break your comfort zone, the fear to communicate and start connecting with other? Because we know we are not native speaker in English or in Japanese in your case, because you're living in Japan. So communicating is not something easy when it's not your first language, but how do you break your comfort zone and fear to communicate, and how do you start connecting?
Okay, actually, I
Or do you have no fear, Fudin?
cannot speak Japanese also. Just I just use English. Yeah, because was just for study.
You will need to
If
repeat
I
that,
meet the
Fudin.
people,
Sorry.
I break my comfort zone. Just don't. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
I can
Sorry.
hear you clearly.
I just don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just go ahead. Also, don't be shy. Just communicate with them. If like if you cannot speak Japanese or if it English, just try to speak with them and how to say respect others also. Just don't be like mean like not good also. Just try to communicate with them, respect them also. If you shy, like me also, I'm so shy also, but I always how to say communicate with the easy question maybe the first time, and then after that, if you have a good conversation or you have a good relation with them, just try to the next step, move to the next step to communicate is more deeply, and then how to say like you have to build your relationship also with them. So don't be shy, just active first, don't passive, and try them how to say comfort with us also if we have communication with them.
Thank you, Muhammad Saifuddin. Let me welcome all three of our panelists back to the main stage. Aluni Sendwangdet, Kal Kunila, and Muhammad Saifuddin. These three are fabulous young change makers of ASEAN. So we're very grateful that at the 4th ASEAN EU Cooperation and Scholarship Day, we can chat about what their great work are impacting others around the globe. Of course, you need to be very Southeast Asian about this. So we need to take picture at the end of our session. I'm just going to do this. If you don't mind, let's do this. And someone at the backstage will help take picture of all four of us. Are you ready, guys? All right. I'm going to count. So 1, 2, 3, cheese. One more time. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Thank you. So again, I think Muhammad Saifuddin of Indonesia, Kal Kunila of Cambodia, and Aluni Sendwangdet of Laos. These are the change makers of ASEAN. And if you want to know more about the AYO, head on over to their booth in the expo session. You can read through the information. There's fact sheets there and also a live Q&A at the booth. We also invite you to visit the Voice of Youth booth. Don't forget to tag at EU in ASEAN on your social media channels and share your thoughts on today's session. The best photos and comments will be shared on at EU in ASEAN channels and receive a surprise hamper from us. I've seen those hampers. They look really fabulous. So make sure you do your thing on your social media and don't forget to tag at EU in ASEAN. Thank you and I hope to see you again. Don't forget to stay fabulous.